What's going on? What's going on? Today we're gonna fix a leaky filler valve. So what happened was I had a toilet that was barely filling, and what happened was, let me grab the old one. So what happened was this filler valve here, as you can see, it's got a lot of calcium built up on it, and also inside this cap there's a lot of calcium. That's what stops water from filling up your tank, because this thing will get stuck, and water, instead of water running out of this little hole right here, gets stuck up in here and it just pools out, and it's just a headache, and it's a leaking toilet all night or running toilet all night, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to replace this, according to Lowe's old technology, with this new technology. So I'm at my neighbor's house, and when I get done doing his, I'm going to go do mine. So the first thing you want to do is you want to turn the water off. I already turned the water off. This valve right there. You're going to put a bucket up under your toilet, because that line that you see running up, there's a screw up there, or a bolt, whatever you want to call it. You're going to undo that. Then there's another one behind that. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to undo those screws. Alrighty, so we took those plastic little bolts off. I'm going to put this bucket in there to catch some of that water. So I forgot to tell y'all, this is why I'm replacing the whole filler valve. Instead of putting a little vinegar in the tank and letting it run, I ended up breaking it, because I was trying to figure out what was going on, and it snapped in two. So that's the reason why we have to replace the whole thing. And this piece right here, it also came with the kit. So you might as well, if you're going to replace one, you might as well replace the other. It's also supposed to save you some money on your water bill. So I got it, they said 6 is the maximum savings. I got it set on 3. Alrighty, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pull this piece up out of here, if it'll come out. Oh, there's that water. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to take this out, this piece right here. So this is what we pulled up. Has a little plastic piece and this little rubber piece on it. So we're going to take that off, because we may have to reuse that. We may not, but I don't think we will anyway, but we're going to take it off. Throw it in the bucket. Throw it in the bucket. Another thing, what you want to do, since you got all this water drained out, you might as well, when you put that new piece in there, I'm old school, so what my parents used to do is they put a little cleaning vinegar in there. It'll clean all that up. So now we're gonna put this bad boy in an old filler valve place. So I'm going ahead and add this part. So what we did was, you have to actually unlock this valve and pull up on it, and this is where your height adjustment is going to be at. So I got it pulled up more than enough. We're going to place this in that hole down there. See that hole down there. And we're going to adjust it. Kind of don't want this thing to be what they say about an inch above the water line. So a quick trick to getting this thing set just right, just take your own, set it side by side, pull up on it. Once you get the height that you want, pretty much set. So we got the height that we want. I forgot to show it in the other video. We may lower it just a little bit. Alrighty, so we're gonna lock it. I'm gonna pause the video and get back with y'all. So we got this in place. We ended up having to angle it we'll turn it just a little bit because it is a little bit bigger than the other one. We took that one of the bolts, plastic bolts that was down there. We've hand tightened it. You don't want to put too much pressure on it because what'll happen is you're gonna break something. Because you gotta remember you are playing with plastic. So we got about where we want it. I'm gonna hand tighten it. And I'm gonna pull up that other plastic bolt to secure that water line. And put the video on pause. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, so we got it in there. And do keep in mind, they send a lot of parts that you can replace, but a lot of them are not really called for replacing. So we're not gonna replace something that ain't, well, what they say, we're not gonna fix something that ain't broke. So these plastic bolts are still good. So what we're gonna do is hand tighten them only, because you don't wanna put too much pressure on them. Now I did have to use these pliers in the beginning because it was a little bit too tight, but going back into it, putting this stuff back together, just hand tighten. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take this little black plastic piece, we're gonna connect it here, then we're gonna take this piece and it clips down in there. We may have to cut it, but we may be all right. So like I said once before, I'm gonna pause the video. Dang, can't get my words out. We're gonna pause the video. We're gonna install this piece. So we got it installed. Does look like it may need a little. I may have to cut it. May not. But so we got it installed. That's all that matters, I guess. That's how that's supposed to look. I think when I do mines, because this is my neighbor's house, once I get done with mines, I'll cut it a little bit. So this valve right here is also, you want to turn that because it's off. So you want to turn it to where water can actually flow through. And when you turn back on the water, which is what we're going to do in probably a few minutes. We're just going to double check. Take that out. And this stuff, y'all, is so cheap. I mean, it's like you paid $13 for a whole new set. So it ain't really worth keeping. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fill this water line. We'll fill the water up to the water line, make a few adjustments, and go from there. So here we go. Hopefully, no leaks. There we go. I don't know if y'all can see that, but they got the water flowing. This thing says it's supposed to be quiet, but I don't see it, but it is fixed. So that's how you fix your valve that ain't working, or it ain't filling up the toilet as fast as it needs to be, or it's just running. However, you change that piece out, probably about less than 5 minutes. And there you go. So if y'all like what you're seeing on my channel, just like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so when I upload, you can you get a notification of whatever I'm doing at the time. But like I said, go ahead and like and subscribe. Let's get this video to 75 likes. Y'all have a good one.